Welcome to Brony Media Studios, and this is with ELIJAH, where we interview leaders to know their ins and outs to get you informed. As you know, we've taken a detour to interview students who are aspiring for leadership positions. And as you know, the darkest boy on campus, I, Brony, is your host for today. And today, I have with me here a fine gentleman who is aspiring to be the next KNUST SRC president. And he's in the person of...
I'm ELIJAH Dery.
Okay, welcome, ELIJAH Dery.
Thank you, Mr. Brony.
How are you doing?
I'm good by the grace of God. Since God is alive, every time when we wake up and then we can see the sun brighten, we are grateful to God. Yeah, it means that you are alive.
Yeah, you can feel, you can breathe, you are alive. How is the campaign so far?
Yeah, like they always say, so far so good.
So far, yes. I know it's a little bit hectic going here and there. KNUST is a big place, so
you have
to visit all the six colleges, right?
Yes, 6 colleges.
Oh, Charlie.
It has not been easy, and a matter of fact, I'm very glad we are almost approaching the end of the story.
Okay.
Yes, because I can say that from the beginning of the year, January, I remember I entered campus on the 11th of January, and ever since then, it's all been work.
Okay.
And so it has not been easy, but then we thank God for how far we have come, and I think it's interesting. A lot have been learned.
Okay.
And I can't wait for it to come to conclusion for us to get more lessons out of it.
Okay.
So far so good.
Alright. Okay. So we are delving straight into the questions. When we say ELIJAH Dery, who is ELIJAH Dery?
Wow. Okay, so ELIJAH Dery is that resilient, determined, and confident young guy who was born in another part of Ghana.
No.
Later on, found myself in the Bunafo region for some few years, and then ultimately I found myself in the Greater Accra region where I kind of...
Why are you good at travel?
In this case, I might say.
Okay.
Yes, where I literally my education restarted afresh, and then it was where the whole story began.
Okay, yes. Okay, that's great. A little bit background story. What course did you offer in SHS, and which school did you attend?
Okay, yeah. So I went to Advancement.
Nice.
I'm a proud mover, as I might say, a very proud mover.
Great.
And why I say I'm very proud mover is that I didn't just go to Advancement and was there just a normal student. But everywhere I go, I always believe I can stand up, and everybody have the opportunity to stand up. And that is actually one thing I found on a plot written back in Advancement. That here in Spain we are all here. There's greatness, and you can tap into it, or you walk back home just as normal.
Yes, as normal.
So because of that, I was determined to stand out. So
okay.
From SHS, so my dream school from class 3. And so I worked towards it. And you know, those days to get into such prestigious schools,
it wasn't easy.
You have to work very hard.
Yes,
so we did work our ass off, and then we made the grade. We made some good grade, yeah. We made a single ticket, and then we entered in France. Where we yeah, as we learned here from JSS, you always anticipate what they are going to be likely to be offering. So I couldn't divert from the norm, but then to offer science back at Advancement. So I did pure science with biology.
Okay. So did you hold any position back in Advancement?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, what positions were they?
I remember right from Advancement, first year, as a young boy, my intention was to be a class rep, right? So I remember my first year in Advancement. They wanted to give me the class prefect because of how I played it, but my target wasn't the class prefect. I wanted to be a counselor, a class counselor. So this one is not a normal counselor, but it's a counselor with the CI.
Okay.
So there are people who represent their class at higher authority level, like the SRC. Okay. So I wanted to be that person who represent my class at the SRC, where I could actually voice out problems that was pertaining to my class, of which I was glad I became a class counselor in first year. Moving forward, second year, that is when the whole journey came in about becoming a protocol prefect, which a decision I took back during the break. And then I think over the second year, I became head of supervisor in the absence of the third years. We were 3 supervisors, head of supervisors, then there were 60 sub-supervisors.
Okay.
Yeah, that I was in that position for 2 weeks. Before ultimately, at the end of the second year, I became the protocol prefect for advancement, as which I double as the general secretary for the SRC, because my school, it's like when you become the prefect, they from the head boy to the protocol, they officially occupy the SRC position.
Okay.
So I was the general secretary as well as the protocol prefect.
That's quite a portfolio. What course do you offer? What course do you offer here in KNUST, and what inspired you to offer that course?
Currently, I'm offering BSc Agriculture, which I might say it's a blessing in disguise. Because as a science student, like I said, I always like to refer to that. As a science student who is very brilliant and you find yourself in advancement, we are always having that mindset it's not even from the SHS, it's from back in the primary days.
Yeah.
Because you see yourself to be that brilliant, and because back then our parents used to see that if you are brilliant, then the best position is for you to become a medical doctor, become an engineer, you become a lawyer. And we all grew up with that kind of perception. And of course, during that time, it was very relevant.
Yeah,
all right. So proceeding forward, it was all our dreams that as a brilliant boy there, you become either in the university, you'll be pursuing medicine, or you will some kind of way find yourself in engineering field, and either be, if you're a student, sometimes you'll be doing law. But then it didn't really turn out to be so for my case, which I believe is a blessing from God, because sometimes when God allows everything of what we want to achieve to come into existence, at the end of it, we might not be becoming very excellent in whatever we are doing. For over the past years from primary, God have actually answered to my prayer, because everything I wanted, I was praying to God. He gave it to me, right? I scored a digit, I went to advancement, I became protocol prefect, I did a lot of things. So coming to the university, yes, of course, I didn't complete and stay for a year. I completed and directly I'm in the university, which is even a blessing. Most people don't have the opportunity to occupy that, and here I am. So offering BSc Agriculture is one of the things I didn't really know about, even though I didn't really know about, but I'm glad I know now, and I'm offering because a lot is in it, and it has even broadened my horizon, and I really have greater plans for the agriculture sector in the future. So it's really good.
That's great. As an individual, everybody has ups and downs. There are sad days, happy days. But when you are in your down moments, what keeps you going?
What keeps me going almost every time is that I've learned over the period of the few years I've lived as a human being that if you look at everything, even the good Bible tells us this. Solomon said there's time for everything.
Yes.
And there's time for birth, there's time for death, there's time for jubilation, and there's time for sadness. Okay. So there's time for storm as well as there's time for celebration. So that keeps me going. So as long as I have this at the back of my mind that there is time for everything, it means that when I'm in my darkest movement, and where I feel like there's not even someone championing what I believe, I just keep going on, because I'm the one who is seeing whatever I want to get through my own lens and how I want to achieve it. So I just keep pushing without hope that in the future the moment of joy will come. Okay. So it keeps me going, and I'm that determined person, and I'm the person that don't act without excuse to say not taking a decision or not thinking about very careful of my actions and the effect it's going to cause in the future. Okay. So every step is a predetermined step for me, and it's very analyzed, and I always anticipate the end goal of it. Which even though I know there are always two sides of the coin, so it doesn't scare me without ideology behind me.
Then I'll surely come for your lens, because I'm sure you can see a lot through that lens. Okay. Most of us look up to people, let me say prominent people, popular people. So I will ask you, who is your role model?
For a role model, I have a lot of role models, but one particular one is Barack Obama. Yes.
That's quite
one thing, yes. I understand if people who are really into politics can really give a breakdown analysis of Obama 10 in office. and they might be able to, in a way, prove to you that maybe perhaps he was not really the best president of the United States, but what makes him unique, and if you check Obama, is that he's a great speaker.
Yes, he's
really a great speaker, and he knows what he talks about. That makes him one of the most strongest speaker of all time. And because of that, if you check people who are very great speakers, they become relevant in everywhere they dominate.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter what the work they have put up or how the background of their work has been, as long as they are great speakers who can inspire people, who can actually put forward the goals, the vision, and make it achievable. And yes, that is what we want, right?
Yes. Giving
the vision. So if you look at Obama, he's a great speaker, and that make him my role model. Yeah, I'm that person. I'm in the process of learning, and I really want to be that great speaker, because I have identified myself to be someone who is very compassionate, very determined, resilient. And if you are compassionate and resilient and determined, and you can't translate that to affect the people around you, to make them become also compassionate and very resilient, then in actual sense, you actually would not be impacting a lot of life. So it's the ability to speak and impact that makes you great a leader, and I think Obama has it, and then is the best person I'm learning from.
Okay. So what motivated you to run for SRC president, KNUST SRC president? Because it's quite a big position.
Oh yeah, it's quite a very big position, and of course a prestigious one.
Yes.
And of which most leaders will always be dreaming of to get it. Yeah. But I always say that the SRC president, or running for SRC president on campus, is not meant for everyone.
Yes, sure.
So even though we always run and then we have some just a winner, it's just, for me, I always see it like it's just the taste of the iceberg. There's a lot after the election, because the process alone make you up into a different person.
Yes,
so running for KNUST SRC president is actually a predetermined decision I took back in SHS. That decision was taken before I went into fully say I'm aspiring for protocol prefect.
Oh, okay.
So I told, honestly, I told God, if I should come to KNUST and I won't run for the SRC president, and the position which I will hold in SHS won't be relevant, then it's better off I put it aside, because I weighed again being an NSNQ boy to becoming a protocol prefect in advancement, and my judgment made me understand that I will be more profitable in the leadership field. So in SHS, I was very occupied. Honestly, we were that multitask people. And because protocol prefect, you can't just be there and then they'll come and tap you. You'll be in class is in session, then they will send for you. Visitors are coming, they are coming for tour. And protocol prefect, we take the tour people, because you already know every history about the school. You know every structure on campus, when it was built, who built it, and what it was for. So because of that, we were not those people who were always with our books. Even though we were brilliant from the beginning, we didn't spend much time with our books. So we were that people who were always moving. And when you are moving, balancing a lot of things, you might not be able to achieve so much in one aspect of your life. So that made our life very balanced. So because of the decision I took, and which is started for protocol, and I found myself in KNUST, which is an achievement also. And with my qualification, actually all of my life I've been a leader. There's not been a single moment of my life I've been a leader. For SHS, I don't even talk about that, because it's that also embodying a lot of leadership qualities over there. But I just focus on the SHS, and then I'm focusing on the university. So in the university, I started as a course rep. Yes, that was a plan to come to KNU and start with a course rep, of which I came a little bit late. And when I came, the course rep were being appointed.